So now it's my turn. While you're stretching your legs and whatnot, we're going to have some little musical comedy here. But first of all, Premier Clark, Mr. Wilkes, Mr. Bennett, ladies and gentlemen, I first off want to just say what an honor it is to be given the opportunity to perform for the Premier of BC. It's kind of a big deal in my book, so take care. And on one tiny serious note, I just want to say I know a lot of people here probably knew my grandfather, Bud Caldwell. And he always said that Bill Bennett was the hardest working MLA in our area, and I just wanted to pass that on. But enough serious. So more importantly and modestly, I am Mary Schneider, and I'm about to attempt the impossible. I am going to make a room full of political stiffs laugh. Good start. Nice. Okay. But when I was first asked to do this, to perform for this fundraiser, I said yes and then realized how much homework I actually had to do. I thought I knew more about politics than the average 23-year-old because my mom was on city council for 12 years. Yeah, no, not the case. At the last election, I am almost ashamed to say that I almost voted for the Green Party strictly because it's my favorite color. So. One of the first things I looked up was I Googled Bill Bennett. I didn't know you were the Premier in the 70s. That's awesome. How old are you? Just wondering. I then Googled the Liberal Party of Canada. Yeah, quickly found out that you guys have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. Nothing. Yet the provincial NDP and the federal NDP seem to be exactly the same. So someone's got to clear that up. Someone's got to fix that. I then visited the legislature's webpage, and it seems like you guys are kind of trying to make things a little more user-friendly, get youth more involved in the government things, and that's really awesome. And then I read one of your goals, and I quote, "To make the BC institution of Parliament more approachable and accessible for the public by facilitating access to the legislative precinct and interaction with MLAs." What does that mean? You guys lost me about 3 words into that, which was the. So I then went to my seemingly only reliable source of information, which was my mom, and I asked her what the difference between the right and left-wing parties are. And my mom said, well, the NDP are left. When they were in power, all the jobs and people left. During my research for this particular performance, I did discover one thing that all of the parties have in common. Pretty dry, pretty boring, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really feel maybe integrating some kind of elaborate song and dance at the next sitting of the legislature would really improve things. You know, spice things up a little. Think Glee, something Glee-ish. So, but, I don't like to say that you guys are boring, because that's not very nice. That's not nice at all. But what happened to this rhinoceros party I've heard about? That sounds like a blast. A bunch of drunk pachyderms arguing over the budget? That's a great time. Nope. One sec, here we are. Oh yeah, and then I found out when Mr. Bennett was Premier that you could get credit just for being social. That's something I can get behind. I'm down with that, so. But what I ended up doing was I wrote a song for Bill. It's a parody of a classic theme song, but you'll notice in the following song that there is some minor bias against the NDP. And by minor bias, I mean straight up NDP bashing. So I hope that's okay with everyone. But you will also notice that in the following song, I don't mention Adrian Dix. I was trying to keep things relatively PG. And I think we all know what rhymes with dicks. That's right, bag of tricks. And I just didn't want to go there. It's too easy. But during my research on the NDP, I came across the fact that they're going to be introducing a new iPhone NDP app. Yeah. So this is a quote about the NDP app. With a quick swipe of the finger, users will be able to watch videos of dicks in action. I couldn't have written something better myself, so thank you. But my song choice for tonight I thought was quite fitting for this occasion, as we all live in the hills, and he's our Billy. I know that's really lame, but let's roll with it. It's a good hint, so. That's not my water, and I don't care. Didn't recognize that, then you're younger than I am. And I kind of doubt that's the case here tonight. Anyone else here born in the 80s? Just me, I don't believe you. Anyone here under 80? Just me, okay. This is the Ballad of Bill Bennett and the BC Liberals. Let me tell y'all a story about a man named Bill, a poor mountaineer with 3 miles to fill. Then one day he joined the Liberal Party, but he still finds time to catch a kokanee. Fish, that is. Or beer, both are good. Next thing you know, old Bill's the MLA. It's a new era, is what they say. Said Victoria's the place you ought to be, so he loaded up the truck to work with Gordon C. Campbell, that is. 77 Liberals, 2 NDP. People in the Kootenays love a renegade. He's been in office for over a decade. We have the MLA who always speaks his mind, even though it could possibly get him reassigned. Minister? Not a minister. Depends on the day. They stole Christie from her radio career, convinced her to run for BC's premier. I think we can all agree, let's hear an amen, that the premier clerk we have is Christie and not Glenn. Casino licenses, fast ferries, sunk the NDP. Being the premier sometimes is the best. Other times you'll get a mighty strange request. You can't give in to every rich dude who wants you to go kite surfing in the nude. Oh, Mr. Branson. I'm not the premier, I'll go. When it comes to jobs, the NDP is in the dark. If it was up to them, the West would be a park. It's enough to make Bill pull out his hair. Stay in the East, Mr. Mulcair. Forestry, mining, and oil ain't cuss words around here. A long time ago, Bill was a fishing guide. Now he's chair of the Special Committee on Cosmetic Pesticides. If the Kootenays need a hand, Bill's there in a flash. We need a new ICU, Bill will find the cash. The college, highways, the airport, and more. Some of the MLAs just can't quite perform. With the NDP, though, that seems to be the norm. Riding just north of here is usually NDP, but it seems they rely on Bill, just like you and me. More highways, a convention center, the Invermere Hospital. Just saying. So now it's time to raise some funds, cause Kootenai Bill's the best. If the NDP get in, we'll all be really stressed. One thing the citizens can't afford to see is our province being run by the pesky NDP.